हेलो दोस्तों, मैं आपका दोस्त सीए निहालचंद जैन आपके सामने आज लेकर आया हूँ एक बहुत ही क्रूशियल सा वीडियो जिसका यूज आपको आपके असेसमेंट के टाइम पे तो हमेशा ही आएगा, बट इट विल also be useful to you all as and when the scenarios so arise. So today's topic is a scenario wherein we collect the taxes but we do not pay them to the government, which means the topic of the day is tax collected but not paid to the government. Why this section? In the earlier regime, service tax, VAT, what used to happen was the taxpayer collected the money from his customers properly. However, he refused to pay it to the account of the government. In the earlier regime, it all used to work. Why? Because there was no GSTR 2A or any other tool available to the recipient by which he could actually go and verify the details. Now, with the availability of Form 2A, it is very difficult that the supplier can actually hide such details. However, we all know that there are many cases that are turning up in which the supplier is filing GSTR 1, however, he does not file GSTR 3B. In that case, what happens is what precisely we are going to discuss in our today's video. Without taking any more time on the introduction, let us start the discussion of this video. Section 76 tells me that notwithstanding anything to the contrary in any order, if you have collected from your customer GST, it has to be compulsorily deposited to the account of the government. Whether that supply was liable to tax or not liable to tax, it is absolutely irrelevant. So what it means is, if you go ahead and collect GST on any exempt supplies or on any non-GST supplies, you still have to deposit that money to the account of the government. Section 76 subsection 2 tells me that the proper officer may serve a show cause notice on the taxpayer that this is the amount due as per my calculation. You are requested to kindly inform us that why you should not be paying that amount, and obviously a penalty is leviable in such cases. So the show cause notice would be for two amounts. One, the amount of tax as determined by the officer, and second, the penalty equivalent to the amount so specified in the notice. 76 subsection 3 tells me that the proper officer, after considering the representation. So for example, I have received a show cause notice that this is the amount which is leviable or payable by me. Now I have two options, whether I agree to it and pay it, or I give a representation, or I contest the amount so due. So if I give a representation, the proper officer shall consider it and then determine the amount so payable. Now please note, interest is just like, what to say, like a thing that comes along with the demand naturally, which means if any amount of tax is due, interest is payable additionally. Now, whether it is specified or it is not specified, interest has to be paid additionally. Now, what will happen is, once I have received this notice, I will obviously ask the taxpayer, you hear me out. Now, the government is very clear that if you want us to hear you out, you need to approach us in writing, which means an opportunity of hearing shall be granted when a request is received in writing from the person to whom the notice was issued. 76(6) tells me that the officer cannot take an unlimited time to issue the final order. The final order has to be issued within 1 year from the date of issue of the notice. Now, say for example, the courts, or say for example, there is an act of God that has taken place and everything was closed. Like, just, we are just in the COVID times only. So then what will happen? They say that such period of, what to say, that period of stay shall be excluded. Now, the issuance of order is stayed by an order of a court or appellate tribunal is what they have specified, but we have recently seen that they have extended the limitations period. So if such extension is granted, to my understanding, even that exclusion is to be, sorry, even such period is to be excluded in counting that. Now, in the indirect tax laws, one thing is the best thing, that any order that the officer passes, it has to be a speaking order. Now, what is the meaning of the term speaking order? That the notice or the order shall contain all the facts and the basis on which the decision has been taken. Moving forward, say for example, the officer tells me that 1,000 rupees is due from me, and I have already paid 800 rupees to him. So now, what is the excess amount that I have to pay him? It is only 200 rupees, which means the amount paid to the government shall be adjusted against the tax so payable. What happens if I have paid 1100 rupees or 1200 rupees? In that case, the surplus may be credited to the fund or it may be refunded back to me, depending upon whatever is the case of the whatever is the matter of the case. Final and the last nail: who can actually go and claim the refund? We will take an example in this. Nihal has made a supply to say Vikas. Nihal has collected tax from Vikas and has not paid to the account of government. So in this case, who can claim refund? It will be Vikas. Why? Because the person who has borne the impact is Vikas and not Nihal. Thank you for your patient hearing. I hope this video was a value add. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel CA Nihalchand Jain for more such quick, informative and short videos. Further, the disclaimers can be read from the content of the slide itself. Also, I wish you all a very safe time and a very happy evening. Thank you so much.